Now the guys at Dehancer got in touch with me asking me to try their plugin and make a review. So this is kind of what that's going to be. I'm going to give it a quick overview and also dive into a grading tutorial about how I found using their film plugin. Now I've done a few episodes about using film grain and film grain overlays and how you can achieve in what I suppose the modern day is it's a film grain style, which I think has become a style all of its own in modern digital filmmaking, because I think if you watch 35mm films, they're not actually as grainy or as rough as this, but I think in the modern way, at least a lot of filmmakers that I follow, this style has become a style unto itself, the film emulation style. And the Dehancer film emulation plugin for DaVinci Resolve really is a one-stop shop to, helping you achieve that look. It has over 50 film stocks to choose from. Most importantly, it's got the Kodak Vision 3 film stocks, which are the kind of the classic motion picture film stocks that are still being used to this day. You've got the daylight and the tungsten balance. Now this plugin is kind of similar to Film Convert in many respects, although I think it goes a little bit more in depth than Film Convert, although it is slightly more expensive than Film Convert as well. Although there are different levels of what plugin type you want. I mean, I think the full Pro package is $350, but there are lesser levels if you just want, for example, just the grain function, which, I mean, that alone for me, the grain in the film stocks would be beautiful. I mean, I'd be happy with that because it really does take the footage just to another level in a very, very simple way. So we're going to dive into a little bit of a tutorial, just a quick grading tutorial using the shots that you've just seen that I shot for a music video last week on the Blackmagic Cinema camera in CinemaDNG RAW, just to give you an idea of what the plugin can do, the flexibility and the sort of look that you can get out of it pretty much right off the bat. Okay, so DaVinci Resolve 17, latest version. This is a music video that I shot very recently. I just want to use one of the clips just to show how I've used the Dehancer film emulation plugin. I'm going to go with this one here, I think, of Layla. She's a singer and artist based in London. This is one of the shots. We shot this just at her house. Obviously we're under lockdown right now, so there's only so much we can do in terms of location. Similar to my last grading tutorial, I'm going to make this time 4 nodes, which is Alt-S on the Mac. Again, don't ask me what it is on the PC, no clue. First stage, we're in CinemaDNG RAW here, by the way, from the Blackmagic Cinema camera. First thing I like to do is convert into linear, which, as we know, makes it look completely awful. But don't worry. We use the color space transform tool to convert back from linear into Arilog C, which gives us an extremely flat profile. I mean, you see the highlights actually there in the background. There's one thing I wanted to mention: the DaVinci Resolve update for 17. Tone mapping, actually, now it defaults to DaVinci. You want to put that to none as far as the Blackmagic Cinema camera is concerned, which helps you see the highlights there have now become more under control. In DaVinci or other options, they're extremely blown out. So this would be my starting point. Now, for this project, I didn't mention it in my last tutorial, but I also use the Lutify film LUTs, which you can buy online at, I think it's lutify.com. There's if you buy the Pro Pack, I think it's $50, and you get dozens and dozens of film emulation LUTs. Movie inspired LUTs is a LUT pack within that I use a lot. And you can see there's various. I mean, Children of Men is quite a really flat looking one. You've got Blade Runner. These are supposed to be based on popular modern films. Anyway, Black Klansman is the one I think I want to use for this one. Normally I only go for about 0.7. So straight away you can see that's already a pretty nice look. This is not obviously including Dehancer, so if we go to where the magic is, get the Dehancer Pro plugin on the 4th node. I mean, look at that. Look at just the beauty of the colours and the way it kind of renders the scene. So let's just so that's without the Dehancer plugin. This is with. I mean, without looks quite nice. It's perfectly serviceable. You could tweak that, but already Dehancer just sort of, it desaturates a little bit and it adds grain, as you can see. I mean, it's such a I mean, I'm so impressed with this plugin, really, what it does to give you a filmic look right off the bat. I mean, I really can't stress enough how happy I am with this. So you've got within the plugin, you've got 50 odd film stocks to choose from here, which is damn impressive. The ones I've been using, really, the Kodak Vision 3 stocks. You've got daylight, you've got tungsten balance. The 250D, which is the one that it seems to default to when you plug it in, is just great. I mean, you don't really need to do a hell of a lot. You can adjust the amount of grain, the size of the grain. I mean, you can go really over the top if you want. Don't know if you want that sort of look. It's great to have it at your fingertips though. My favourite little aspect of this is the Hilation Mode. So you can halate the highlights and the edges of the image. So if we kind of crank it up a bit, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it in let's put it larger. It's hard to see, but the edges of her face, you get the red halation, which is a characteristic of a lot of film stocks, which is a really beautiful little addition. There is a way you can do that in grading, and I've seen a few tutorials to do that in DaVinci Resolve, but to have it just there in your fingertips as a one-stop plugin is beautiful. You can bloom the highlights. I mean, I am using a diffusion filter on the lens here because I'm trying to go for that look anyway, so the highlights are fairly soft. But yeah, I mean, damn, look at that. I mean, what more do you want? Super happy with how it renders the colour, how it desaturates. I mean, I'd probably, if I wasn't using the plugin here, I'd probably take this a bit colder, maybe, because she's looking a bit orange there. But not, I mean, the plugin is, you know, you don't really need to do too much. The Dehancer plugin, I can't recommend it enough, particularly if you're shooting RAW. I guess any type of footage, but it really goes so beautifully with the Blackmagic Cinema camera. I'm super impressed. So big thanks again to the Dehancer team for getting in touch with me. I'm very flattered. I know this channel isn't really huge at the moment, but I'm super happy to have tried the plugin. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to recommend it to as many people as I can. I hope this tutorial and review goes some way to helping those guys spread the word about Dehancer. I think there's going to be a discount code related to this channel for those of you who want to buy Dehancer. I'm going to put a link down below in the description.